Hello, my name is Anna Deeter. I am a speech therapist with over 30 years of professional experience. Born, raised, and educated in Russia, I worked there for the first 17 years of my career. After my immigration to the United States of America in 1998, I began working as a speech and language pathologist in the public school setting of Los Angeles. While treating many people with fluency disorders in both countries, I have always been looking for the way to solve this puzzle of this unknown disease called stuttering. I have used all kinds of techniques that I learned from both Russian and American professional schools. However, I have never been satisfied with the results of my work. No matter how diligently and precisely I followed those techniques, how creative I was in keeping my younger students interested in my therapy activities, and how involved their parents would be, I would always had this feeling that my therapy sessions were more like entertainment for little people who stutter. Traditional fluency shaping techniques such as eye contact, prolongations, easy beginnings, cancellations, pull-outs, there are a lot of them. All these techniques did help to increase my client's speech fluency in the artificial environment of the therapy room. However, my patients would never become stutter-free outside in the real world. They would continue living the life full of fears of getting stuck on any word in any unpredictable situation. There are a lot of wonderful programs out there. However, they all have the same goal. They teach people who stutter how to live with their stuttering, how to adapt to their handicapped condition, and they all kind of encourage stutterers to sit around and to wait when someone will come and help them. All the techniques are based on a traditional approach, which says that there is nothing you can do about stuttering. You just have to learn how to stutter easier, how to speak more fluent. This kind of approach doesn't make people happier. So here is a question that would never leave my head. How can you succeed in treating something that nobody really knows what it is? My professional curiosity and passionate desire to find a really reliable treatment made me look outside the traditional approach. Thanks to the internet, which has turned our modern world into a global village, and also thanks to my fluent bilingual skills, I was able to look at the different approaches, different techniques that are being used today in different countries. After several months of my intensive research, I finally stumbled on a breakthrough discovery in Russia that was made in 1998. Based on natural rules for speech, memory, attention, and thinking, Moscow professor Roman Snezhko explained the nature and real causes for stuttering. He developed and perfected for almost 14 years his unique program for instant and permanent elimination of stuttering. The name of the computer version of this program is the model, which stands for the model of a perfect speech. In this video, I would like to introduce the main principles of this unique and extremely successful scientific method. The method has completely changed our understanding of the role of human's brain in our body. It is not just a physical body of flesh, but primary, it is an energy informational system that is controlled by the will of its owner. Based on discovered and formulated by Professor Snezhko, as he calls it, the law of the ray of attention. Two physical events, for example, thinking and speaking, cannot occur simultaneously at the same period of time. Those events may occur only in a sequence, one event at one moment. That is why a human's body is capable of doing consciously only one thing at one moment. An attempt to complete more than one task at the same time triggers a so-called stupor, a state of near unconsciousness where a person isn't speaking or thinking clearly. When the human's brain becomes confused by an impossible task and stops functioning for a moment. This silent moment is the time that is required for the brain to make a decision as what to do, what action to choose first. To better understanding the name of stupor, it is recommended to carry out a simple, practical experiment. So here it is. Stretch your arm in front of you and then try to lift it up and pull it down simultaneously. What's happening? The arm is not moving, but the tension is growing. Why? Because you are commanding your arm to do two things at once, and it is obviously impossible. Continue trying as hard as you can, doing these two things at once, up and down. What will happen? This tension will grow stronger, but the arm will remain motionless. If you push even harder, you will notice that your muscles contract so much that your arm may begin to shake. The outcome is obvious. The harder you try to move your arm, the tension gets more tense. This is a stupor. You cannot fight against stupor. You will lose, always. What you can do, though, is to make those the same two options in a sequence. You can lift your arm up first and then pull it down, right? So, and if you do that, you will notice that when you do it in a sequence, it works just fine and without any effort. Now, remember this experiment very well and try it a few times in order to get a feel for the stupor, so you could understand what stupor is. Here are a few points of a simple conclusion from this experiment. Number one, when humans try to do more than one thing at once, they get stupor. Number two, it is impossible to fight against stupor. And number three, the only way to avoid stupor is to do one thing at one moment and also to do everything in a sequence. The nature of speech stupor is the same as of the stupor we just talked about. But instead of moving your arm in a sequence, people need to speak their sounds in a sequence. Producing a sound is a physical event. So producing two sounds would be two physical events. So what you should remember that in order to avoid stuttering, People should say each sound in one moment and again in a sequence. No human being on earth is capable of saying more than one sound at a time. People produce each sound in a sequence and never together. Here is another simple experiment. I would like you to say the sound, let's say T. Please don't confuse it with the letter T, because the name of the letter contains two sounds, T and I, right? So it is very important because a lot of people who stutter do not realize this difference. Now, I want you to say only one sound. It could be any sound. It could be A, it could be it could be T, P, any sound. Just say one sound at a time. And then you can say a whole sequence of sounds. And you will notice that you will never ever get a stupor. You will never get stuck. Because when you do actions, physical events, in a sequence, you will never get a stupor. Try it for yourself. You can even produce the whole alphabet of sounds, not letters though, in a sequence, and you will never get stuck one time. So here are a few points of a simple conclusion from this experiment. Number one, you never encounter a stupor while producing one sound at one moment. Number two, producing sounds in a sequence will avoid occurrence of stupor. Number three, attempting to say more than one sound at one moment, like a combination of sounds, if you try to put them together and to say them at one moment, triggers a stupor.